So now that we have went through and did our little refactor, what I want to do is focus on the game mode, specifically the zombie spawning. So the very first thing I want to do is where we select the zombie class. As you can see, we can select, anything that is derived from a pawn. Now, because we have these kind of linked together now in their own module, I want to change a pawn to a zombie pawn. So let's forward declare that, and that's the very first thing. Just so we could only select, well, or children of the zombie pawn base class. So let's close out of the editor and continue. So for spawn points, obviously, we need some sort of spawn point. Duh. So what we want to do is go ahead and because we're going to have probably maybe a few of these, I'm not entirely sure. Let's go ahead and make a new and real class of type player start. So this will be called zombie player start, or not necessarily player start. Well, yeah, zombie player start. And then next up, we want to put this in some sort of folder. And I'm trying to think because we're going to have a couple of, I guess you could call them kind of miscellaneous actors in here. So maybe things like, I don't know, drops, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of not 100% sure where I actually want to put this. So part of me wants to put this in the actors folder. So we're going to make a child or a subfolder called actors and just throw it in there. And then if we find a better spot in the future, we can very easily just move it. So what we want to do first is go ahead and remove any comments and the tick function. Like so. And set B can never tick to false because we do not want this to tick. And then I'm going to kind of walk you through the idea behind this. So first things first, make a protected section and just have a simple bool B is active. And we'll set it to false by default. So what I want to do is I want to be able to I'm actually going to have to launch this to explain. Let me get into the editor really quick. Okay, and as I'm compiling, there is a slight problem. So a player start, no appropriate default constructor found. And if we go to the player start, you can see it kind of overrides it. So we need to pass in the object initializer like so. And just to make our life easier, copy and paste. So let's try building now and see what happens. Okay, so we're getting a complaint on T subclass of in the zombies game mode. So a zombie pawn. Okay, that is the correct class. So, oh wait, that actually might make some sense. Let's go to the CPP. And I never actually changed it over. So instead of a pawn, a zombie pawn. Let's change it over to that. And let's include it. So we need to include pawns zombie pawn.h. So we have that done. So we have the correct constructor for the player start. We've included the zombie pawn in the game mode.cpp, and we've switched out to use the a zombie pawn class in the header. Okay, now I can get on with my, I guess, explanation. Okay, so once we are here in the editor, yeah, you can see now it selects only those two, so that's good. Basically, the idea here behind the zombie player starts is they're going to be tied to some sort of zone, but triggered via a barricade. So what I mean by that is let's pretend that there is a barricade right here. So on this guy. And what's going to be happening is let's say we buy this door. So we have zombie spawns. They are active by default, and that is for zone 0. So the starting room. When we purchase this barricade, a event's going to fire off, and all of the, what do you call them? Rooms that are bound to it. So, or sorry, not rooms. All of the zombie player starts that are bound to that delegate are going to receive it and set themselves to be active. So you buy this door. Now all the spawns for this room are active. And then once you have, let's say we have a barricade here, which opens up this entire area, as does this barricade. So we have two barricades that open up the same area. So one on this stair set and one on this stair set. They're both going to be bound to the same exact, well, zombie player starts. Or sorry, the zombie player starts going to be bound to the same both of these. So when you buy either one, it is going to, again, just broadcast and make those player starts active. So that way you should be able to access kind of anywhere you need from, well, kind of dictated by the barricades. So let's begin with how we're going to do that. So in the zombie player start, we have our B as active, and we want to bind ourselves to, because these are placed in the editor, to various, well, barricades. So we need a U property. Make sure to spell it right. At edit anywhere, blueprint read only, category zombie. That actually auto-filled correctly for once. Except when I'm pressing enter, now it's being stupid. There we go. Okay, so we want a T array of the type a barricade. So these are going to be pointers. So let's go ahead and forward declare a barricade. And I think we need to bring in this module. So let's go to the zombies module.build.cs and bring in the barricade module. So now that we have our barricades array, let's just call it linked barricades, like so. We want to bind to it. And we want to do this in begin play. So on begin play, if we are authority, because we don't need to do this client side, only the server cares whether or not, this event has been received. We want to loop over each barricade. So a barricade in linked barricades. And it locked up because it selected something completely different. There we go. Now that it's done thinking, linked barricades, like so. And I'm going to fix up the include. There we go. So we have our barricade. So we want to basically just bind to it. However, right now we don't have anything to bind to. So if we head over to our barricade and have a look, we can see when we call something interact, it triggers a on rep, and basically you're just starting the motion of the motion component. However, on begin play of the barricade, we are binding to on motion started, and that runs client and server side, and on motion complete, which runs server side, is going to pretty much fire when this movement has completed. So it, destroys itself basically. But this only runs if it's set up to be cleaned up, which most of them should be. But in case some don't, as well as because immediately when you buy the door, the zone should be pretty much accessible. We want to do this on motion started. So on motion started, we want to broadcast that the barricade has been purchased, just like we're setting this Boolean. So let's make a new delegate. So declare, let's do a multicast delegate. And we're going to do F on purchased. And that's just a general name for it. Now we can make our F on purchased. And over here in on motion started, we're just going to broadcast it. So we're doing this on server and client. In the case of the client, it's not going to matter for our use case what the player starts because it's not going to be bound. But if we at some point need something to happen, we at least have that option of using this client side. So back in our zombie player start, we want the on purchased. So we want to, add U object, this being the object, and the function being a zombie player start. Let's do linked barricade purchased. Or better yet, on linked barricade purchased. So let's make this function void on linked barricade purchased. And in here, we're going to set B is active to true. So that way this barricade is now, or this zombie player start is now active and available for use. So back in the zombie player start, we need a simple getter. So bool get is active, and we want to return B is active. And once we have that, we are pretty much ready to go. However, we need the use case of our starting spawn. Because down here, we're not waiting for a barricade to be active or anything like that. We just know that, we need some by default active spawn points basically for the zombies to spawn at. So the way we can control that is if we have any linked barricades, then we want to run this logic and wait. So it's going to stay false. But if we don't have any linked barricades, then we want to be active by default. So if linked barricades.num, meaning it has more than 0, so it has at least 1, we want to bind to the barricade changes. Otherwise, we want to set B is active to true by default. So this will kind of get our player start set up and ready to go. So now we can close out of the editor. And just for now, let's go ahead and go to the zombie game mode and let's just get all of the player starts. So in begin play, we're going to use U gameplay statics, and we want a get all actors of class. So we're going to do a get world as the first parameter, and we want the class, which is a zombie player start static class. Good grief, I can't spell, like so. And then we want to output to our found player starts. So found zombie player starts. That's just what I'm going to call it. So we need to make this array and include the zombie player start. So include actors zombie player start. So now we need to make this. So tarray of a zombie player start found zombie player starts. All right, that's right. It takes in an A actor because it needs to be I don't know if there's a way to get like all of these casted to a specific type or not. There might be. So we just want our player starts and we can, yeah, that's actually going to be about it. So let's go ahead, compile and check it, make sure everything's fine, make sure we can actually select what we need to select and go from there. Okay, so once we are back in the editor, let's go ahead and bring in one of those spawn points. So C++ classes, zombies module. Let's go to actors and just drag in the player start. So if we go to our details panel, you can see we have linked barricades. So we can add this one and we can, either select it manually or we can use the eyedropper and just grab this barricade. So now this one should technically not be active until this barricade here is purchased. And this one, if I remove the linked barricades, should be active regardless. So I'm going to kind of position these accordingly. So I'll put the one that should be active when the barricade's bought by the barricade. And the other one will just be kind of up over in here. All right. So we don't have any way to test this logic just yet, but we're going on about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and make some. So to begin, I'm just going to delete that guy and do all that in the next video. So in the next video, we're going to work on actually getting these player spawns and kind of getting them prepared to where when the round starts, we can actually spawn them. So I want to get this set up to where we can actually, test the barricade purchasing system with, activating the specific zones or spawn linked player starts, so to speak. So with that said, I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.